Hey everyone, I'm Joyce. Today is June 28th, 2019. It's Friday. I'm still talking about motivation and focus and getting things accomplished. Last year I purchased this book, Rory Vaden's Procrastinate on Purpose, and lately I have been rereading it. He's talking about people that he calls multipliers, people who think kind of long term. They look at a task today that they're presented with and determine what is the significance of completing that task in the future. I mean, if they complete it now, what impact will that have on their future? Will it save them time tomorrow? And one of the tools he discusses to illustrate the way a multiplier thinks is a focus funnel. He talks about the first step that a multiplier goes through unconsciously when determining if they should do something is eliminate. So they decide, okay, this is my task. Can I really just not do it? Is it important at all? And if something cannot be eliminated, well, then can it be automated, like bill pay? We can't eliminate our bills, but we can automate them by auto bill pay. Anyway, and that can save you time in the future. If you can't eliminate a task and you can't automate it, can you delegate it to someone else? And if you can't do any of those, is it something that maybe you need to do, but maybe you don't need to do it right now? Can it be procrastinated until later on purpose? And then if it can't, if it doesn't pass any of those tests, you can't eliminate it, you can't automate it, you can't delegate it, and you really can't procrastinate, then it's something that you need to concentrate on right now. So anyway, thinking about the focus funnel and those particular levels to it, I'm having different thoughts about how to look at some of that. For example, I keep changing my mind about what to focus on, of course. But thinking about this, what can I do today that will have the most impact tomorrow or, into the future? And I decided this time that would be getting our finances in order. And I made a list for myself. Well, the notebook I'm using is one of my mom's old notebooks. And I left some of her notes in here, so I'm having to skip around to find my own notes. Anyway, I made a plan. I really don't know where it is. I made a plan for getting the finances in order. And the first step in that, now I'm really losing. Okay. The first step I determined was to get the office cleaned up. This is the office that you cannot see. Right in front of me, we've got a couple of cabinets here with drawers. And I had probably about, if I stacked it all up, about 3 feet worth of paper. I got that down to about 1 or 1.5 feet of paper. I was able to eliminate at least half of the paper in there. Part of that decision, a lot of it was old. It was no longer relevant. Some of it, a lot of it was receipts. A lot of it is receipts. And I am saving those to enter into QuickBooks. And I decided not to keep any receipts past 2018. My current reason for updating QuickBooks is to get an idea of a budget of what we are spending, what our living expenses are. And I decided, well, I only need 1 year of that, and that's 2018. So anything before that went into the recycling with other things that were not necessary. And that's the first step in the focus funnel, is to eliminate. And that is a task that will save me some time, because there were several receipts from 2017, and I did see a couple from 2016 even. So now I'm just not even going to mess with that. I thought there was another something that I was eliminating, but I don't see that in my notes here. As far as automate goes, routine, I have found, is very important for my functioning. I don't always do it. I am not capable always, I guess. There are arguments for and against that statement, but I don't always have it in me to stick to my routine. But when I can do my routine, when I can make myself do my routine, it does help. And even if I don't do anything else, at least I've gotten that done. And what I consider my routine is my morning routine. That's something that I have been sticking with previously. I take the dogs out, I feed everybody, I have breakfast, pretty much empty the dishwasher, maintain the litter boxes, vacuum. That's my morning routine. And I'd say about half the time, probably, honestly, about half the time I'm able to do that. And keep the sink clean. Fly Lady at flylady.net, I've told you guys about her before, and she's focused on keeping the house clean and tidy. Anyway, her first step in that is keeping the sink clean, and I have been doing that, keeping it clean and dry. The last time I checked the baby steps, I decided, okay, I'm going to try to do another step in her program, and that day that I checked was doing a load of laundry every day. I have not been doing that, but I keep coming back to it. So I have been keeping on top of my laundry pretty much. At least it gets washed. Still, I tend to accumulate my clean laundry in my laundry basket. Things that need to be hung generally get hung. Things that need to be folded very often will stay in the laundry basket. But my routine is part of automation, even though it's not a technological automation, but routine and automation are almost, the same thing. They're synonymous, because the more I do it, the more automatic it becomes for me to continue doing it. And those things that I do in the certain order, I'll just automatically do that. I don't have to think about it. So it saves me some thought time, at least. I guess that's all. Oh, my eating too. That is something that I can automate as well. I was trying a cardiovascular meal plan for cardiovascular health. And it was a 2-week meal plan. And so I was trying all these different recipes, and that got me overwhelmed. And very often the ingredients are not available where I am, and it was frustrating. But what I was having before for breakfast, I was pretty much eating the same thing every day for breakfast. I cut up a banana, I cut up some other kind of fruit, mash up some walnuts, and put soy milk on it, and that was my breakfast. And I am going back to that. Um, and it's so much easier. That's just my breakfast. I don't have a problem with it. I don't need variety. I mean, my second fruit is my variety. It's not a big deal. And then I don't need to think about it. When I go grocery shopping, I still don't need to think about it. I know I need bananas and walnuts and soy milk or almond milk, and some other fruit. That's all I need to know. So that saves me some thought time, and also saves me time in the grocery store. And I don't get overwhelmed by it. And I'm trying to do the same thing with my dinner. I don't usually eat lunch. My breakfast is enough for me for, until dinner time. So I'm hoping to do the same thing with dinner, just a salad with beans and vegetables and a dressing that I make myself. And that can be my variety, is the dressing that I make myself. But anyway, so it's all healthy. And dessert, I'm trying to cut out sugar. So I've been trying to eat for dessert, an apple and peanut butter and raisins, because I'm eating the natural peanut butter, and I still have a hard time cutting out the sugar completely, so the raisins help. So anyway, my point is that I can automate my eating as well, at least to a certain degree, and that'll help save me thinking time and grocery time. That is pretty much it. Pretty much just the eliminate and automate right now. Is being built into what I'm trying to do to improve my motivation and focus. Concentrate is the last part of the focus funnel. As if you can't do any of the rest, then it's time to concentrate. And with the finances, I probably ought to leave the concentrate out. But I did do that. I did concentrate on my first step in my plan on getting our finances in order, and that was to clean up the office. And the first step in that was going through all the paperwork, sorting it at least. I did find 3 bills, I think, that needed to be paid. We have 2 vehicles that need plates renewed. As of Sunday, I don't think they'll be open tomorrow. So they're both late right now. So we'll have fees to pay on those. Also found a couple other important documents. Found some checks. 3 checks, not large, but still 3 checks that needed to be deposited. So anyway, got those deposited today and got some things mailed off, got the bills paid. Those were important. The receipts are next. I need to get those into QuickBooks, so that will be the next order of business when I get to that. Now, this didn't all happen yesterday. It's rare that I can go, several days in a row. I think 3 is my max right now, keeping myself in line with, with something I have planned. I get depressed, I get tired, all of that. This morning I took the dogs out, fed everybody, ate my own breakfast, and went back to bed. Even forgot about Doug's and my movie and a meal day. But Doug woke me up later and reminded me, and we at least did that, and that is important to me. So we got that done, so to speak. It's not really a task I want to check off my list, but it is something that's important to me to do with him every week. So anyway, I just keep myself coming back to my routine. So I'll try to keep that in mind, keep my routine in mind, and remind myself that um, if that's all I can get done is my routine, then at least I've gotten that much done. But often, once I get my routine, if I have completed my routine and I get to the end of that, very often I can keep going. And um, and when I'm working on a project like the cleaning up the office, I need to take breaks. I need to allow myself to take breaks, even if it's often. It at least keeps me moving forward. It may be slow, but it keeps me moving forward. And I think I was trying to bring the focus funnel back into that. It's about investing time, so it's not really part of the funnel. It's part of what he talks about in the book, but investing time today to grow your time tomorrow. And by taking a break, it does feel, it feels like I'm holding myself back, and yet taking a break helps me keep moving forward. Whereas if I don't take a break, I'm very likely to get very frustrated and quit and not come back to it, at least not in the same day or sometimes very soon. So anyway, I feel like I've been rambling. I have been rambling. I'm not focused right now. And it's late. It's always late. So that's it. That's the latest. And I don't know. I may not work on the office tomorrow either. I've got recycling to do. So that's it for today. And hopefully next time I will be feeling better and getting more done again. So. Oh, I will put links to Rory Vaden's book, Procrastinate on Purpose, and there was something else. I guess that's it. I'll put a link to his book. Oh, and his talk, his TED Talk. That's where I found Rory, was in a TED Talk video. So I will put I'll put a link in the description below for that as well. So that's it for tonight. See you guys later. Good night.